It took him over 10 minutes to reach his destination, despite the fact he had to later sprint through the steps to save time. He burst open the door that led to the very top of the pagoda. Immediately, he was hit by a strong wind pressure that almost sent him down the steps he had just climbed. The breeze at the peak of the pagoda was far more dominant than the rooftop of the academy building. A reckless smile appeared on Alex's face, and he shut the door behind him, not minding the windy atmosphere. At the center of the rooftop, there was a kind of pole stretched far up above everything else. It was more of a pillar than a pole that made him crane his neck and look straight up entirely just to see the peak of it. Damn. I'd like to climb up there and look down at everything, Alex thought to himself with a smile. From the rooftop of the pagoda, he could see every inch of Holster Academy. It was a massive ground, and looking further in the direction of the library, he could see the separation of the quadrants. I wonder which one belongs to the second designation students, Alex muttered. Tang was most definitely in one of them. It doesn't matter now. He could defeat the boy currently, but it was just a matter of time. Alex slowly took off his backpack and then took off his jacket. He also took off his long blue sleeves uniform to be worn beneath the jacket, and was left with just a singlet. He quickly stuffed them into his backpack before the wind could blow them away. Then finally, he unsheathed his katana blade and smirked, staring at the lustrous steel blade that reflected his image. Alright, 500 downward slashes, 500 upward slashes, and 500 left and right side slashes, Alex said, while walking closer to the pillar in the middle of the rooftop. At the same time, he spun his blade in his hand. He took a stance and immediately began making the slashes. Each one of them was determined and purposeful. The wind beat against his lean and slightly muscular body, blowing his hair backwards as though it wanted to send him flying. He had decided to slash in the opposite direction that the wind was blowing. That way, there would be resistance fighting against his strikes. It was like fighting the wind. He believed that was what Gavin meant when he told him to change terrain and also change the type of strikes he made, which was what he was doing. Alex continued, his eyes burning with determination, and his attention focused on the sound of the blade cutting the wind. He didn't even notice the system screen that popped up by the side and fully focused on his blade. It got to a point that he shut his eyes and focused his senses on the blade in his palm. He could feel its weight and the slight shift it made in his palm. He swiftly cut the wind, imagining himself cutting through the stems of a plant. The angle, the aim, the purpose. He could feel his strike becoming better the more he felt it. And the more tired his body, the more focused his mind became. His back ached, the sides of his tummy ached, and his legs weren't spared. It was worse on his shoulder, but the pain and heaviness only pushed him to continue. Faster, sharper, stronger. Those were the thoughts he could think at that moment. There was nothing else floating about in his mind other than the urge to improve his swings and slashes. He didn't seem to notice the pool of sweat that had formed beneath his feet, from his body, that looked as though someone had dipped him in water and pulled him out without cleaning his body. Soon, his body couldn't keep up with the desires of his mind, and his strikes were becoming sloppy and full of errors. Yet in that state, there was something strange about the strikes. Despite the fact they seemed weaker and out of control, they didn't lack their purpose, and somehow they felt deadly, because each one of them seamlessly cut through the wind with the little effort his body put in. There was no resistance at all. It was as though the wind split itself when it saw Alex's blade cut.